Hey, what's up? It's Comic95 the Savior. For this video, I want to give you guys some basic, not really a full list, but some basic advice about packing your bags for Japan. I will make a blog post that will go into more detail about items that I recommend that you bring, but for this one I really want to talk more so about the controversial items or things that you're unsure about. So, first things first, it goes without saying, if you are very tall or very fat, especially in your own country, you are obviously going to be a lot taller and a lot bigger here in Japan. So use common sense to determine what you should and should not do for your own self. Let's get some obvious things out of the way. If you are a man or a woman that has large feet, you definitely want to make sure that you bring a fair amount of shoes. If you are someone who has large breasts, D cup or up, you definitely want to bring your own bras here. Can you find stuff? Yes, but it is more difficult. When you are packing your bags, you definitely don't want to overdo it. So packing seasonal items, large fancy gifts, especially fragile items, you want to leave all of that stuff at home. I'll make more videos, more blog posts on specific stuff. Try not to get too detailed in this video, but you don't need to bring a gift to Japan for anyone. The only gift you need is a gift for yourself. So if you have some type of favorite comfort food, a favorite seasoning, you definitely want to bring it here because it's a very high chance that it does not exist in Japan. However, you do not want to be having or bringing an entire suitcase just full of gifts. This is something that you will do after you've already been living and working in Japan. Then you will be kind of expected to bring something for your coworkers. As a noob here coming for, a homestay or just going to college here, it's kind of stupid to bring gifts because nobody's expecting you to hand them anything, any handouts for free. So do not waste your time wasting space on this. You do not need seasonal items either. As for shoes, ladies, you probably definitely want to bring, if you have large feet in particular, a good pair of heels and a good pair of gym shoes. That's about it. If you're living in most of Japan, there's not really snow here. It does rain, but yeah, you do not need to have 50 different pairs of shoes. Your goal is to save as much space as possible to carry the items that you really, really love and cannot live without. You do not need outfits to last an entire month. You will go clothes shopping here. You can buy stuff online, and you can even buy stuff from China, from back in your home country, and have it shipped here to Japan. Most people shop online. Japan is not a third world country. So I think people really freak out over what they should bring here when it's like, Japan is not the middle of nowhere. There's stores, there's online shopping, all of that stuff exists here. So anything that you can't find in store, you can definitely buy online and have it shipped to you. Do not spend $200-300 for, over, heavy baggage at the airport. That's pretty stupid. Keep in mind that laundry is expensive. So if you're someone who's like, I want to bring everything, it's okay, I can afford it, I'm going to bring 6 bags with me, that's a huge mistake. For starts, you're going to have to pay to have all of these bags probably shipped to wherever your place is initially when you first come, and upon moving, if you move into your own place or another share house because the one you chose is crap, you are going to have to pay to have all of this stuff shipped again. And this time around, you would have accumulated more crap because you would have gone shopping at places like Tokyo Hands and Big Camera. So now you have more electronics and more dishes and more this, that, and more, whatever. Also keep in mind that beyond just the cost of shipping, you do not have a huge space. Look, you can see my entire apartment, pretty much. I'm sitting on my bed right now. You can see my door is over there, my bathroom's there, my TV, computer, all right there. You can see my entire place. And this is actually a kind of big place by Japanese standards. You don't want to bring more than what your place can actually hold. I would only bring my absolute favorite items, so maybe like 2 or 3 books, whatever your favorite clothing items are. I'm not talking about just what was most expensive, but what do you really wear at home? I have tons of clothes, but if you've watched any of my videos, I've worn this shirt like 50 times. I have clothing that I have yet to wear since I've been here in Japan that's just sitting in my closet. You will be the same way. Do not bring stuff that you're not going to wear. Do not bring 6 different pairs of boots. You don't need clothes that are just, if you have clothing that is seasonal, and by seasonal I mean like you can only wear this in the winter time, or this is only good in the summertime, do not bring it. You want to bring stuff that you can layer and switch around. You can buy clothing here. You do not have to be a size 2 to fit Japanese clothing. I have gained weight. I'm back to a size 10 right now, and I can definitely go shopping here. Again, if you are, really, I'm plus size, but I mean like really plus size, like your size 20 and up. Yes, you do want to bring more clothes, but again, don't bring too much. If you have anything that is immodest, Do not bring it with you. I actually purchased this here in Japan, FYI, but this is technically not modest either. I also want to freshen you ladies up on what modest is. Modesty does not mean my boobs are not hanging out. Modesty means clothing that is not tight, clothing that is not short, clothing that is not revealing and or see-through. I see a lot of girls talk about, oh, like, I wasn't dressed this way and people were still treating me like a hoe. Yes, you will get attention anyway because you're a foreign girl. That's not what this video is about, but I am saying do not bring slutty clothing here with you. You're gonna feel self-conscious wearing it and you're going to attract the wrong kinds of people. I'm not gonna get into it with you on who should be responsible for what. Totally agree, men should be held responsible for their own behavior and actions. It is not right for them to treat you a certain way, but you are in a different country, respect their culture. Japanese women do not dress this way, so girls, do not do that. As for men, you want to dress professionally. Do not bring your bummy loungewear to Japan. Whether you are a man or a woman, Japanese people care a lot about how they look, and they care a lot about brands and money. Both men and women will notice the time you took to put together your outfit. They will notice, how classy it looks, how expensive your clothing looks, etc. Don't be fooled though, you don't have to spend a pretty penny in order to look nice here. I buy a lot of my clothes at super cheap random places that I just passed by that says, hey, 1,000 yen sale. I'm right inside that store. I buy stuff. I go shopping at Forever 21, H&M, Uniqlo, etc. And people will be like, oh my god, your dress is so cute. And it's like, yep, it only cost me $20. And they'll be like, what? So yeah, don't go through that. Back on subject. As for you guys, you really want to make sure that you have possibly at least one, if not two suits. If you have more, bring more. Again, you will get paid, you will work here, you can buy more stuff later. You just want to bring what you absolutely need for the first few months. When you get paid, you can have stuff shipped from overseas and buy stuff here in Japan. So for the purpose of saving space and bringing the items that you really love, can't live without, your favorite knickknacks, whatever, I would not recommend bringing anything more than 14 outfits, and that is pushing it. But to be totally honest with you, I would say do not bring more than 10. And out of that 10, I would not bring any shorts and no skirts unless it is a long pencil skirt. So I would have, for women, a business suit. For men, bring a suit as well. One is enough. Again, you can buy more later. I would definitely bring a good pair of, chunky, modest heels, only if you have large feet. Large feet in Japan is anything that is a size 9 and up. It's going to be pretty much impossible to find shoes. You can buy size 6, 7, and 8 here in Japan. I personally wear a size 7. Sometimes I wear a 6.5. You will live. If you have wide feet, you'll be fine. There's stores that sell shoes for wide feet as well. As for dresses, you definitely want to make sure you have at least one, but if you can, bring a couple of modest dresses that are long enough, that cover your shoulders. What I'm wearing is not appropriate, people. You want to wear something that completely covers everything up to your neckline and that goes, past your knees or right at them. You do not want to wear something that is short and inappropriate here, and you don't want to waste space inside your bag bringing clothing that is going to label you as a whore, give you negative attention, and that you will not be allowed to wear to work. As for men, it's okay to have, something bummy to wear around the house, but I personally would not waste space by packing this. I would bring a pair of pajamas, but that's about it. You can buy loungewear and stuff once you come here to Japan. You don't want to waste your valuable space in your, suitcase carrying stuff that you can easily purchase here. They sell cozy socks, they sell pajamas, they sell house shoes. You don't need any of this stuff. You can buy it once you get here. Another big question or controversial item is deodorant. I have very mixed feelings on this. If you know that you stank, yes, you probably want to stock up on deodorant. And I would recommend, bringing as much as you can fit inside of your bag, whether that be 3 sticks or 10, whatever you have space for. But the reality is, if you're going to be in Japan long term, people here don't really use deodorant. You're going to have to get used to using the aerosol spray cans, roll-on deodorant, or buying the deodorant wipes. All of these items work very well, and in my opinion, I think that their roll-on deodorant and their wipes work the best. They are very expensive though, but again, you can buy them and it's possible to get by with just that. I have not used stick deodorant in years because I ran out a long time ago and I stocked up on deodorant, but I went through all of it. To be honest, deodorant is bad for you anyway, and if you're showering as you should be every night, you wear loose fitting clothing and carry wipes, you will not stink and you will not have embarrassing moments. You definitely want to use common sense and bring any of your basic items from America, your personal basic items. So what I mean is like identification stuff. So you want to have a copy of your passport in case you lose your own. You want to have your social security card, your state ID, driver's license, anything personal in America you should definitely bring here with you. So if you have to conduct business in your home country over the phone or online, you will have that with you. Or if something goes wrong here, any type of emergency situation, you don't want that to be in your home country. Anything you really love that you don't have space for, remember, either you can have your friends or family ship it to you here in Japan, which is very expensive, but it might be worth it if you really love these items. Or you can go through a shipping agency, a third party, that you can have your family ship the items to, and then they will send them to you here in Japan. But again, don't overpack, don't bring a lot of clothes. Japan is a first world country. There's shopping here, and unless you're really big, you will be able to buy clothing here in Japan. It's very tempting to overpack, especially if you're moving to Japan. You're not just going to be here for a semester. But keep in mind that if you've ever gone on vacation in America or out of town, we always tend to bring more stuff than what we need. You'll bring 30 pairs of underwear for 5 days and 20 different outfits, knowing you wear the same 3 things. Again, I use myself as an example. I literally wear the exact same pair of black jeans every day with the same black jacket. Like if I'm not at work, that's what I'm wearing. In fact, I normally bring that outfit with me to work. So when I'm done teaching, I change into that and go outside, and I pretty much wear the same pair of shoes. I have pretty much bought all of my shoes here in Japan with the exception of like 2 pairs of them. So yeah, again, a lot of the stuff I bought I don't use. You'll find cuter, cooler, nicer stuff here. You don't need that. You don't need toiletries. It's a first world country, people. They have body wash. They have all of that stuff. They have shaving stuff. Leave it at home. They have bigger, better, nicer things here. As for your bedding, Japanese blankets, in my opinion, are a lot warmer, a lot softer, more comfortable than the ones in America. Leave your sheets at home. You do not need to bring a pillow. I have no idea whether I watched a video on this or read about it, but I heard their pillows, you know, were like beanie, whatever. Yes, they do have weird, hard, rough pillows, but you can easily buy a super soft one or a memory foam pillow, etc. They sell all of those at cheap stores. You can pay as little as $5, as much as 20 or 30. They exist here. You don't need to bring a pillow. It is a total waste of space. Again, if you can afford it and you want to, go ahead, but remember, this is going to be a bigger expense than just you getting there. You might think, oh, I have enough money to make it through the airport, but now you have to get those items shipped with you to your home or drag them around with you, you know, through the train station to get to your first place, which is going to be a nightmare. And if you're staying here long term and you're going to move, you're going to have to pay someone to ship these items again and again and again, plus you'll have added stuff that you purchased since you came here. Bad idea. I wouldn't bring a lot of accessories or clothing, again, unless they're just really expensive and are valuable and nice. They have super nice dirt cheap stuff that you can buy at the dollar store and random miscellaneous knick-knack shops all throughout malls that just cost a few dollars, like much cheaper than the stuff that you buy in America. Accessories in Japan are very cheap. I would not waste a lot of space carrying this stuff, again, unless it's real, like you have something that's diamond or some sort of emerald or something like that. Sure, go ahead and bring it, but again, you don't really need that. All you really need here is to have, you know, modest clothing. So a few nice outfits, a few good pairs of jeans, a couple of shoes. Again, you're gonna find nice, cool, new stuff here. So why, you know, give yourself a whole lot of crap that you can't carry? There's not a ton of closet space. There's not a lot of space here, and you don't want to have to ship stuff back and forth to your family. That's not being realistic. Use your brain here. You're gonna pay a ton of money trying to bring your whole wardrobe with you. You don't need that. So I kind of guess go against what I just said. I would count this separately. So bring a couple of pairs of pajamas, maybe one that's a warm set and then something that's, you know, for when it's hot. I would bring either 1 to 2 different, you know, suits or dresses that you can wear that's, you know, professional and modest and nice and clean for your interviews. I would bring just 1 pair of shoes for your interview. If you're a woman, I highly suggest that you buy a pair of foldable flats. You can buy these at Payless and or Walmart that you can put inside of your bag so that, you know, if you're on the train, you're not being rocked back and forth and falling over with heels. And if you live far away from your station, you know, your feet are gonna inevitably hurt on your walk home. They have super cheap and comfortable heels here in Japan, but again, I don't know your shoe size, and it's nice to just, you know, have something to start off with. So again, don't overpack on your clothes. You don't need body wash, you don't need flashlights, you don't need to have any of that type of stuff. Emergency kits, no. Japan already has video games, they already have movies. Unless, you just absolutely need whatever you have at home for God knows what reason, I would leave my console and other things like that too. This one is something that you might disagree on because you're like, I don't want to have to buy that in Japan. But again, if you're going to live here long term, you might as well. And depending on what console you have, not all of them can even, play movies or, games, etc. from your home country. If you have a PlayStation, I believe you should be fine. I think you can play Japanese games on American PlayStation system. I'm not sure. Mine's is Japanese. I bought mine at Big Camera after I came here, and all of my games are Japanese. And it'll help you improve your Japanese language skills too by purchasing at the store as well as playing in Japanese. I know you could change the settings in your own one, but we ain't talking about that right now. Don't bring unnecessary stuff. Just bring the things that you absolutely need. So like your laptop, your digital camera, your professional camera, whatever you have, any expensive electronics, bring them. The main reason why I say this about consoles is they're heavy. They will take up an unnecessary amount of space, and they can get damaged easily with them being thrown around at the airport. So that is the reason why I don't recommend bringing it if you are low on space and your suitcase is not gigantic. And remember, oversized baggage does cost more. You're going to have to carry this around and trust other people to ship this back and forth without it getting damaged. It is expensive, obviously, to rebuy this here, but again, it'll save you space and you can ship more important things. We're all adults here. You can live without your console. It won't be the end of the world. A computer should not be super heavy, and it can be easily put inside of your carry-on bag. I also recommend that you dress in layers through the airport. So I don't care what season it is. I would have my winter coat on me and wear as many jackets as you can. If you can wear multiple pairs of socks, underwear, whatever you gotta do, stuff your pockets with things like that too. You want to save space in your bags. I want to get back on the topic of clothes again, but do keep in mind that even if you are overweight, unless you just absolutely refuse to give up your addiction to food, you are going to inevitably lose weight. You are going to have to walk and ride your bike everywhere. You will spend more time running, walking fast, etc. You will not be eating as much because the cost of food is definitely different here, and it is definitely a lot more expensive to be a total fat ass here in Japan. Between the combination of, doing a lot of walking, running, riding your bike, and eating healthier food, less food, so much rice, you are definitely going to lose some weight. And if you choose to be serious about it, you can also diet, which you're probably going to want to do because, just being real, you will feel self-conscious if you are really, really big. Fat people do exist here, but people that are super big, like really obese, you don't see that as often. You will feel uncomfortable, which will probably encourage you to lose weight as is, which isn't a bad thing. Don't worry so much about bringing extra pieces of luggage unless you have something that's like foldable, like a carry bag, like I forgot what they call those little overnight bag type things that can fold up, like smaller, like the ones that Victoria's Secret gives away. I carried both of mine here and they definitely came in handy. But I would not bring extra suitcases or empty suitcases, etc. You can buy this stuff here in Japan later on, and in my opinion, I think they oftentimes cost a lot less. I do recommend that you bring yourself a travel backpack or a regular school backpack. Backpacks in Japan are pretty expensive for some odd reason. They're super nice and generally very durable, but that is something that you definitely want to bring. Again, as for regular stuff like purses and whatnot, ladies, you can buy this here in Japan. They have Forever 21, they have H&M, they have Uniqlo, they have lots of little small purse shops, they have designer brand stores here too. You can get all of that stuff here in Japan. Do not waste your space. Bring the items that you can't live without. Don't bring your whole wardrobe. And going back and forth, another reason why I don't recommend, I think I already said this, but bringing items like, deodorant or specific foods and seasonings, etc., is if you're going to be here for a while, you're going to have to live without it because you can't buy that stuff here. You're going to have to find new things that you like. Japanese seasonings are good. They have really delicious, tasting stuff. You'll find new interests, new snacks that you do like. Again, if you have like an item that you really crave and you just want to have it for one last week or whatever, sure, go ahead and bring it. I personally love spicy stuff. I can't find Flamin' Hots or normal hot sauce here. They just have Tabasco sauce and these nasty hot ring chips and not really hot potato chips. But again, you're going to run out of it anyway. So think, is it really worth it to carry this in my bag, or should I, bring something else instead? Don't waste your space trying to impress other people with big fancy gifts like chocolates and wines. Leave that stuff at home unless you can afford to bring it. So to summarize and wrap up this video in a nutshell, if it is something that you don't feel comfortable wearing, something that you don't wear on a regular basis, or something that can only be used, for a specific day or a certain time of the year, with the exception of course, like a winter coat or maybe a good pair of warm boots, I would leave it at home. You don't want to have more than 3 or 4 bags. I recommend having one, full, like big suitcase, one, large, like overnight bag. I would have a carry-on, and even if you are a man, buy a man bag. You need to carry a purse because it's an extra bag that allows you to carry more stuff. Other than that, Japan is a first world country. You can buy all of, toiletries, flashlights, emergency kits. You can get all of that stuff here. If you can afford it or make it small enough to fit inside your bag, by all means take it. But you don't want your suitcase to be too big or, way too much, because you will pay a ton of money, especially if you have connecting flights. Bad idea. So as always, if you have any more things you would like to add to this list that you think people should bring or should not bring, please leave a comment down below, or you can send me an email. Also, if you have any questions for me about this, you can do the same. Send me an email, leave a comment down below. I will have a blog post that has more detailed information about how to pack, that will give more information, more advice, more details, more specific. You can check out my blog. I will link it down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I would appreciate it if you would follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I hope this helped you out with packing and deciding, what you should or should not bring a little bit. And again, if you want more detailed, thorough advice, please read my blog, in which I go in more detail and give you more thorough advice on what to bring, what not to bring. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you watch another video. Goodbye.